What is going on, everybody? Brent Abel right here, goldballhunting.com. That young man over there, the great Jeff Jacklich, coffee number 2 or 3 or 1 or something.
Hard to tell at this point.
Yeah.
Hard to tell at this point. I'm not sure, but hard to tell at this point.
Coffee number 17. Guys, Jeff doesn't know what's coming at us today with this topic, but it's something that, Jeff, you and I actually talked about the last few days that I think is really important that the players sort of accept as a reality. And so, guys, hang in there with us today because another great episode of the Gold Ball Hunting.
Sounds like a reality check. Sounds like a reality check.
Could be. So the big question is this: how are tennis players like us who never played in the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Brent Abel, and along with my biz partner, Jeff Jacklich, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting. All right, Jeffrey. So you're up there in Northern California.
Yeah.
I'm down here in the desert. God dang it, looking over there, San Jacinto Mountain, just going, okay, I guess I have to do this again today. Spectacular. I know. I'm going to hit with Ronnie this morning at 11 o'clock in the grass. It's going to be, and by 11 o'clock in the morning here, it's bizarre. I mean, the place is just cleared out. It's like everyone's been there. They want to get their tennis in by 10:43. Everyone's going, oh gosh, I got to go home. And
scatter.
So, scatter. And then
everybody's on their bike and everything, right? And their golf cart. And
little golf carts are flying around. But Ronnie brings out his big boom box, right? And he comes out and he's got the dun. It's just great. I mean, there's no one around, and you got the music going, and nice. we're just rhythm hitting for about an hour. We might play a few points where it's kind of that third ball live, you
right.
Hit third ball live, but it's just set to music, and it's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. So I'm looking forward to that today. Hey, I want to talk to you about something that we were mentioning about shot tolerance the other day, and trying to get players to try to increase their shot tolerance. And I'm not sure tolerance is really the word that we want to associate with knowing when to stay in the point, knowing
right.
when you don't really have that fat, chubby opportunity to actually be offensive and do something. And typically, I mean, for me, I know that if I'm back in the baseline, I used to think, maybe there's an opportunity for me to thread the needle over there or to thread the needle cross court or something like that. And what I think I've discovered, and a lot has been over this year since we've been doing this podcast for now, this is 338, episode number 338 of a daily podcast, is that I try to keep everything right in the middle third of the court until, and most of the time it's not me, even though I just play it up there. It could be a semi-topper, it could be a slice, could be something. But most of the time, that guy over there contributes to me receiving an offensive opportunity. And I think I'm getting a little bit off topic here, and I want to talk about shot tolerance, so don't let me forget that. But I see a lot of times, like I was mentioning one of our students the other day, I was playing on the court next to him. Man, he hit, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he hit a great cross-court forehand to the deuce side over there, really stretched out his opponent, but stood back and just kind of looked at, and then the next thing you know is the guy's out there, he stretched out and barely gets to it. The ball just comes floating back short. And I can see this guy trying to scramble to get up there and doesn't do it. Ball bounces. But there's also the time where you've got to be alert that sometimes when you play what you feel is a standard, no big pressure rally ball, you're just playing it up the middle of the third of the court.
Right.
You got to be ready because lots of times that guy over there all of a sudden chunks one up. And you've just got to be assuming all the time. And that's why I don't like to play a groundie and then back up behind the baseline. I like to play all my groundies, even if it's really neutral, and stand maybe a foot inside the baseline, because who knows if that guy over there is going to try to snap and wipe, and the next thing you know is you get lag, snap, and shank, and it's short.
Right.
And you're going, oh, okay, well, thank you very much.
Right.
But that's a little bit off topic. I want to talk about shot tolerance. And to me, shot tolerance is really mental. I mean, it's really it just starts with kind of this mental tolerance of how long are you willing to stay in the point until you get that really fat offensive opportunity. And I used to be, I mean, back in the days of the, when I was younger, I mean, I swear, and I've talked about this, a guy could hit a ball that was going to land on my baseline. And I would go, I guess that's an approach opportunity. Here I come.
Right.
Didn't always work out. But I just think that, now, and I mentioned this in yesterday's episode, that I feel like now I'm winning way more points by not thinking that I've got to hit an outright winner.
Right.
That actually I can play shots where the guy touches the ball and it just doesn't come back. And again, I'm not a pusher. Right. I mean, sometimes I will take my forehand, depending on the type of incoming ball. I'll kind of get around it, and I like to play kind of that cross court meaning it's over slightly on my ad side.
Right.
And I play it over to that ad side, assuming the guys are righty. I'll do it with lefties too, because lots of, if you just loop that thing in, right, they back up. Well, pushers would do that and stay back. I like to do that and come in, right? So to me, that's, anyway. But I guess my point is I'm doing a better job now than ever before in terms of being content to stay in the point mentally, to not think that I've got to rush. Now, the other day when I was playing next to the guy, that one of our students who I just talked about, he hit that great shot to the corner and didn't move in. And then I watched another point where he's doing everything he can, and finally the point's over, and he probably hit 4 shots, and he's just going. And I'm going. You got to breathe, man. You got to breathe, like for every shot. It's like
exhale.
It's just this is not a hold. It's not like you're playing underwater, and at the end of the point you're just kind of coming up and
Yeah.
So
we're not free diving.
That's right. Right. So what's my point today? My point is that just experiment with seeing how long you can stay in the point.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, even if it means that some guy hits a big time offensive opportunity, what's to say that you couldn't take that and without feeling like, well, I got to end the point, you could have that mindset of, all right, well, I'm just going to play this thing high quality to that spot and just assume that it's going to come back. I mean, that was kind of the great Dick Johnson, right? He would always say, well, I'm just going to play it over there. I'm assuming no matter how well I hit it, it's coming back. So he was always ready for the next shot. And his whole thing was, well, let's just take it from there.
Take it from there, right?
And I think that's kind of the mental tolerance that players have got to have if you're going to have a high shot tolerance. You've got to have that mindset of, well, I'm assuming that no matter how well I hit it, it's coming back, and that's okay. As opposed to, well, I don't want it to come back. Right. So now I've got a low threshold of shot tolerance, which starts with a low threshold of mental tolerance. And I think once you get past that, and once you start to embrace the Dick Johnson thing, which is, well, I'm assuming it's coming back and we'll just take it from there, I think things change. Yeah. I think things change in terms of, you want to talk about results. I think you start winning, especially a lot of those close matches that maybe you're not winning right now. So,
it's an interesting mindset, that you're bringing up, because it does. There's this, opposing factors in your head, because the first is, it's like we want to win the point, so we're doing things to try to win the point. end the point, because I don't want the ball to come back. But I've noticed in my matches when I play, there's always seems to be somebody running after my ball after I hit it.
Yeah. Huh.
And that guy is actually trying to send it back. As much as I don't want him to send it back,
Right.
he's trying to send it back. So shot tolerance is this opposing factors when you can only get in three or four hits, and then your brain explodes and you want to get out of the point. Is this, you have opposing thought processes going on. It's you don't want the ball to come back, but yet there's this guy over there on the other side, or gal over there on the other side, who's actually trying to send the ball back. And so it's like, we don't like it. So now it escalates our mental process to say, I don't want the ball to come back more now. Right.
Yeah, right.
And you brought up a very interesting thing there when you hold your breath. A lot of players do this too. And when you hold your breath, your shot tolerance shrinks, because you can no longer breathe. You need air, you need oxygen. I know this sounds silly, but you know it. I know it. There's players that I know it, and it's like, dude, got to exhale when you hit the ball, because then you will automatically inhale, which is why it's important to exhale at contact, right? The grunting, that's what that's really about. But if you're holding your breath, if you're one of those guys, you're tight, and it just escalates every time you hit the ball. Your ability to stay in the point is just shrinking dramatically. And mentally, you can't do anything about it until you start to actually breathe according to stroke production.
Yeah. As you're talking about that, two things came to mind. Number one, it's about Fed. I don't know, for some reason, the last year, I've noticed that he really consciously exhales right through contact. And I'd never noticed it that much. I mean, I'm sure he did before, but it wasn't as pronounced as I've ever seen him do it before. But can you imagine playing at that level and realizing that no matter how great a shot you hit, the chances are like 98% it's coming back. And so, wow. Anyway, so that's my little thought for the day is look, I think, maybe we kind of hit on something today is that or mental tolerance, which equals shot tolerance, really starts the whole thing before is really start making sure that you're exhaling through contact. I mean, one of the reasons that we should exhale through contact, I feel, is that it kind of relaxes everything through
right.
contact.
The body's releasing tension as well.
Yeah.
At that moment, and there's a rhythm to it that actually, I think the players that don't breathe are missing the one of the key ingredients to actually building your own personal rhythm. What does it feel like to be in rhythm? What is your rhythm? You don't have any if you're holding your breath.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. So, all right, we'll make this a short one today. Hey, Jeff, just a quick reminder for everybody that January 16th and 17th, a Thursday and Friday next year, 2020, you and I are offering 2 one-day, we're calling them tournament training workshops. It could be a post-tournament. You played the Palm Springs Senior Tournament and maybe the Plaza the week before.
The Plaza, yeah.
Down here in the California desert in January. And we want to get you in there to help you, or it could be a pre-tournament for the Wilson coming up the following week. But we really want to help you guys really discover who you are in the court in terms of what's that one thing that you do super well. And you probably don't know what that is because you've been conditioned on either you've got a teaching pro that's under super controlled conditions, trying to force feed something on you that they're actually making you look darn good in that lesson, or you've bought a course and boy, it sure sounds great. And you go out and tinker with it. And yeah, it kind of works in these nicely controlled conditions. And then you get out there in the match.
Right.
And it ain't happening. And that's not really the way to start figuring out how do you win more, especially how do you win more of those close matches. the fastest way and obviously the most realistic way is to discover what's that one thing. Maybe it's two things that you do really well. And in our job in this workshop is to help you find that. And then let's see if we can't devise a tactic or strategy to help you get into that situation a lot more often in your matches. And so those are one-day workshops where we're doing 3 hours in the court in the morning. We then have a 90-minute working lunch. We then got a couple hours in the afternoon back in the court, and then we got a fun post end of the day kind of beverages along with a special gold baller guest that's going to come in and kind of give you the secrets. The secrets of what it takes. Guys, if you're interested in it, we would love to have you join us. Two things. Number one, down below this video is a link that will take you over to a video where Jeff and I describe everything you're going to get in the workshop. There's actually some pre-workshop stuff, and then during the day, and then there's some post-workshop stuff as well that we want to describe to you. And then we're asking everyone to fill out an application because we gotta vet everyone to make sure that we put you into the right group. We got to make sure every group's got the exact same skill level with all the players in there. With that said, those links are right down below this video. Any questions, certainly shoot us an email. Let us know at goldballhunting.com. Jeff, what do we want the fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. After that, click the button, get over to the video questionnaire. Come on out and join us. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review, goldballhunting.com. Come on. Discover what kind of player you are. Come on. It'll be fun.
Guys, get out there. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, well, let's try this again tomorrow.